Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. We have a brand new radical theory that has surfaced today about the story of Jedi Survivor that claims that perhaps one of Emperor Palpatine's clones will be a mainstay of the story of this game. That's right, guys. It's a little out there. It's a little radical. Emperor Palpatine's clone being in Jedi Survivor. It's so out there that we felt we had to sit down and talk about it and break it down and see if this is even something that is possible for this game. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that is just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification right on next to it. It will notify you every single time that Andreas and I upload the latest and greatest Jedi Survivor and Star Wars content. Also, if you've not yet joined our Discord server, we would love to have you join us in there. There is an invite actually down below in our description of our videos. It gets a little lost in there, but rest assured it is down there. It's a great place for you to get to know us better and a great place for us to get to know you better. We have a great time in there. There's so many wonderful people in there. You should definitely consider checking that out and joining. Now, with all of that out of the way, Andreas, are you ready to talk about this radical idea?
Yeah, let's execute Order 67 or whatever this is.
All right, let's just get right into it. Alright, Andreas, it's a fine Thursday afternoon at the time that we are filming this video. We're just, minding our business, going about our days, and then this article about Jedi Survivor pops up, presenting this radical theory about the story of Jedi Survivor. So I gotta ask, Andreas, what the hell's going on here? This is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so just to fill you guys in, the title of this article is Why Star Wars Jedi Survivor Could Be Revisiting the Palpatine Clones Story Arc. And just to spare you guys the read, if you want to go in depth with this article, spend a romantic Friday afternoon or whatever it is with this article, light some candles, go ahead. The article link is going to be down below, but I'm going to just give you guys a quick rundown of what this article says. Essentially, the theory in this article is that the individual in the tank, which this article proposes is actually not a bacta tank, but actually a clone holding tank, is actually an experimental clone of Emperor Palpatine that was held in that tank as an experiment and as a backup in the event that Palpatine died, as he does in Return of the Jedi. Sorry for the spoiler, guys. Well, I guess he doesn't really die now that the sequel trilogy had something to say about it. But anyways, this article posits that this whole tank here is a holding tank for a Palpatine clone in the event that something goes awry, and that the person in that bacta tank is actually a Palpatine clone. Nick, what say you about this?
So, I'm sure I'm feeling the same way that everyone who's watching this is feeling, is this is radical, this is crazy, why are we even talking about it? But I guess nothing has been officially confirmed about who this guy is, and that is a bacta tank, so I guess that person is technically correct. We haven't confirmed it, so could he be an Emperor Palpatine clone? Like, yes, it's possible. Star Wars has done crazier things, but like, come on, this is crazy. This is so far out there. Like, this guy's clearly from the High Republic. He's wearing the High Republic robes. I can't buy this. I can't buy that this guy is going to be one of Emperor Palpatine's clones. And honestly, if he is, Andreas, I'm going to be a little frustrated because I feel like the whole Emperor Palpatine's clones seems to be underlying like every single Star Wars project that we get. They kind of like reference it here and there throughout the Bad Batch. It's been referenced in The Mandalorian. Like, I'm getting a little sick and tired of that always being the main storyline. Like, I understand Disney, like, you brought Palpatine back in the sequel trilogy. You don't need to explain how you did it in every goddamn project that you make. So I hope to God that this guy is not an Emperor Palpatine clone. I hope this is the long-lost fallen Jedi from the High Republic era that we all assume, and we have pretty much some semi-confirmation that that is what he actually is. I really hope he's not an Emperor Palpatine clone. And Andreas, what is the evidence even here that this guy might even be a Palpatine clone? Like, where is this guy getting this from?
So I'm literally quoting the article here when I say that, quote, the kicker here is not so much the physique, but the hair. That's right, guys. This article goes on to explain that the fact that this person has white hair and the fact that Palpatine had white hair means that white hair is now a marker of what this article refers to as a strand cast experiment. And just like Snoke, which had white hair, Star Wars is telling us that whenever someone has white hair, this is a symbol that they are a potential clone. And of course, there's also the blue eyes as well, which, Palpatine had blue eyes, Snoke had blue eyes, now this person has blue eyes. So this article is saying that because all these people have blue eyes, they are clones of one another, which, honestly, guys, if blue eyes means you're a Palpatine clone, then sign me up. 'Cause that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it's cool. So, I don't know, man. To me, like, I get it. We're all desperate for Jedi Survivor news. I'm always checking every single day to see if there's any sort of leaks or new, gameplay information that we can break down on the channel. But, like, this seems like a little too much desperation going on here. Like, do you buy this theory at all, Andreas? Or do you still subscribe? Has this changed your mind at all? Or do you still subscribe to this is the High Republic fallen Jedi guy that pretty much 99.9% of the rest of the population is assuming at this point?
So I think I'm really, the reason why I was excited to talk about this in this video, first and foremost, is to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments, but also because I really wanted to express that there are just a particular sect of Star Wars fans that ever since the introduction of the somehow Palpatine is back plot hole in the Rise of Skywalker, these fans have been looking everywhere for evidence as to how the whole cloning experiment took place. And this article reminds me exactly of that. It's an article that kind of overlooks some key details that the trailer actually gives us, and instead tries to force this explanation that it expects Lucasfilm to deliver to us, like you said, Nick, in every single Lucasfilm property. And I think if you're actually paying attention to the frames of the trailer that we've received, you will have seen evidence such as the High Republic robes, the dialogue from this character, which clearly is someone who has had human experiences in the past, who is aware of what the Jedi are, and who has been betrayed before he entered this tank, whether it be bacta or otherwise. And I think if you're looking at those details, this is someone who had a life before he entered the bacta. This is not someone who was created in a lab. And if you were to create someone in a lab, why would you create someone without an arm? Wouldn't you want to create someone that is a fully functioning individual that you could, turn your psyche into and then go and be powerful? Isn't that the whole point of creating these clones? There's just a lot of details here that aren't quite adding up. I think I'm going to stick with our initial diagnosis of the trailer, which is that this person is someone who had been screwed over by the Jedi in the past, that he originally existed long before the events of Jedi Survivor, that he was an individual who thrived during the High Republic, and that's why he wears High Republic threads, that he got into some sort of an altercation where he lost his arm, was placed in bacta, has been on reserve for years and years and years, and is now coming out of the bacta by an unaware Cal who doesn't really know what he's getting himself into, and that things go south from there, and the rest is for Respawn to tell the tale and for us to all enjoy. That's my perspective on this. Palpatine clone, I'm just not bought on this. I don't think there's enough evidence for this, and white hair and blue eyes just doesn't cut it for me. What do you think, Nick?
I think it's funny that you say that there's not enough evidence. There's literally no evidence. Like, you brought up an incredible point that I completely forgotten about, that the guy literally says, I've been betrayed by the one I trusted the most. I will not be imprisoned again. Like, this guy's clearly not a clone who is being, like, grown in this bacta tank, like, tube. Like, this guy clearly, like you said, had human experiences beforehand. And those are High Republic roads. I'm sorry. Like, this guy is going to be a High Republic era person. I just believe that with every ounce of my being that is who this is. But you know what, Andreas? I'm feeling a little radical today, so you know what? Screw it. He's Snoke. It's the younger version of Snoke. Like, Snoke confirmed in Jedi Survivor. He's going to be disfigured by Cal later on in the game, and, like, he's going to go into hiding. That's how Snoke gets all cut up. Like, this guy's Snoke. Like, take it to the bank. It's confirmed. Like, bet on it. Like, it's it. That's it. It's Snoke. Snoke confirmed.
My favorite theory is that Andy Serkis's character in Andor actually ends up being Snoke. So I just can't get on the bandwagon for this one. I'm really rooting for Andy Serkis's character. So we'll see who ends up being Snoke here. But you guys can kind of tell we're kind of joking about this article because we do think really it was generated entitled in the way that it was to garner clicks, and I don't think it is really well thought out here. I think it is, an interesting discussion, but beyond that, I don't think there's enough in this article or in the trailers to convince me from our original position, which is that this guy is from the High Republic. That said, guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think about this article. Is there any chance at all that it could be correct in any regard? Go ahead and go click on the link, go read the article, and let us know your thoughts. But if you guys are still on our explanation that it is a High Republic person, let us know in the comments below as well. We love to know when you all think that we're on to something here. So happy to learn what everyone has to think about the bacta tank mystery, the ongoing bacta tank mystery in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. However, guys, that's going to do it for this discussion. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all next time.